Today guys, we're going to be going over some tips that you could use whenever you're doing any of the beginner jobs in Grand RP. That's pretty much a bunch of the jobs on this list right here. Some of these tips will help you make more money and save you some time. So I hope you guys go on to enjoy the video, and if you haven't already joined the server before and want to, click the link down below in the description, click on start playing, select which server you want to play on, register an account, download the launcher, boot up your game, and get ready to have some fun. And if you want to play on your phone, there's a link down below for that as well. Everything you could do on the PC version of the game, you could do on the go. And if you use code Frolickz when you sign up, you'll get a free rare accessory. But with that said, I hope you enjoy, and let's get into this. The very first job I'm going to give you guys some tips for is trucking. You walk over, you get a job, and you rent your truck. Now, if you're trying to make money off of this, or you're just doing it for a battle pass task, this is going to come in handy. When you click the J menu to open this up, you head on over to private orders. There's always a ton of them. It also shows the business number. So before you accept an order, look at the price. Like this one right here says $6,000, and the business number is 20. This one also says 6,000, business number 19. So we would open our phone, go over to this GPS right here. We would search for a business. Let's take a look at business number 19. You can see that's 6.3 miles away. So we'll turn the navigator off. And now we'll search up business number 20. This one's 7.49 miles away. So you can kind of see they're a little bit far away, and I don't really want to drive that far. So we're going to look for a different business. Let's take a look at business number 37. This one's 8 miles away. Holy crap. Let's take a look at business number 271. This one's only 2 miles away. So we're going to go ahead and accept this order. Now, even though this order is only paying out $4,530, so we're making about $1,500 less, we're also driving a much shorter distance, allowing us to get back sooner, accept another order, and make some more money. Now, of course, the other orders are going to get filled at some point if there's no close businesses left. But most people, when they do trucking, they aren't actually doing it for the money. They're doing it because they have a battle pass task, which says complete 5 trucking orders. Or maybe you own your own business and you're just delivering the product yourself. Most of the time when I do trucking, it's literally for battle pass tasks, and using a method like this saves me a whole lot of time. I know some people who own businesses far at the top of the city would probably get annoyed by this, but if I'm being honest, if I'm only going to make $5,000 or $6,000 off of this trip, I don't want to drive 8 miles in an extremely slow truck. Which is why whenever I owned a business that was really far up in the city and nobody was accepting my order, I would just drive myself. The next job we're taking a look at is going to be electrical. Now, it doesn't take long to become a level 2 electrician. Once you become level 2, you're able to drive this truck around the city. Trust me, you don't want to do that. Although every time you fix a panel, you'll end up making a pretty decent amount of money. I think it's like 10 times the amount that you get from each panel you do inside the power plant. And before, when you used to have to do this little mini game, sometimes there was a few panels next to each other. I'm so used to running over there to rent the truck, I forgot that you just do it from the NPC, which they removed and put inside the power plant itself. But when it comes to making money from electrical, driving the truck is just going to be way too time consuming. Like, take a look at this, right? Transport rental. Rent. We have to drive 6.09 miles to fix one electrical panel, and then most likely drive all the way back down to the city around to where Arena is to fix another singular panel. Now, this truck is probably going to end up going around 120 to 150 kilometers per hour, which isn't super slow, but it's also not super fast. So we would end up driving 6 miles, make $300, or we could stay here, run around for a little bit, and we'll make $30 per panel. Let's see how long it takes for me to go from this panel to the next one. And there we go. That was literally like 10 seconds. And we're actually making $50 per panel here. Honestly, not sure why that is when it says it's only 30, but I think electrical is actually paying out a little bit more money right now. But either way, if you want to make money from electrical, I would not recommend driving the truck. Imagine you have to drive 12 miles to make the same amount of money you would get from fixing 20 panels here, which would take a lot less time. Plus, driving around, there's a much higher risk of some random person smashing into your truck, you getting sent flying off the road. A lot of stuff can happen. The next tip I'm going to give you is for farming. The first one is once you level up to level 2, you're able to drive around a tractor. You get $6 every single arrow you drive into, which sounds pretty decent, but it's actually not. Because you have to turn the tractor around, you also need to repair the tractor a lot. Plus, when you consider the fact that you're able to get seeds from farming, you'll end up making a lot more money by just watering the fields. So if you're gonna do it, always water the fields. That's why you don't really see too many people driving around a tractor. Now, the next tip for farming, and this is what I've been saying for a while, I would not recommend using the farm that I am currently at, and you're gonna see why. So we just filled up our watering can. Let's go ahead and water all of these fields. And boom, just like that, we have watered 20 crops. Now, do you see what the issue was? Notice how I ran in a straight line, but I only ended up watering 9 crops in each straight line. Now, this may not sound like the biggest issue, but it actually is quite annoying, considering the other farm allows you to water 10 crops, then you have to make a turn and go water another 10 crops, all in the exact same row. See, now I come all the way back here, fill up my water tank, and then I gotta go run all the way back up there, finish off this line, and then run to another spot, and then to another spot. And most of the time, I'll end up doing this, I'm like halfway through one line, and my watering can will be empty, compared to the other farm, where I run in one straight line, then another straight line, and then go and fill it up again, and I use all the water. What most people would end up doing is, they would see, oh, my watering can's about to run out, there's no point in going to those 2 other arrows over there, so I'll just go and refill my watering can right now. By doing that, you'll make a little bit less money, lower your chances of getting seeds, and it's honestly not even the business owner's fault. It's just how they made it scriptly. Sometimes at this farm, I'll only end up getting like 7 of these arrows in a straight row, and then I'm constantly just running around the entire place, and I feel like it'd be such a simple fix, so hopefully in the future they do end up fixing it. Like, see, right now, I have to go all the way back up there, I don't have much water in my watering can, and I just finished this row, which they definitely could have extended to here and then to right over here. But since each row isn't 10 arrows, it's just going to keep getting more and more messy. So now I run all the way back up to the top, I'll water like 5 things, and then I have to run all the way back down, fill it up, then run them all the way back up here, finish off this row. It's just not the best setup. So if you want to go farming, I'd recommend using the farm in Paleto Bay, just so you don't have to deal with this. And I have timed this in the past as well. You'll actually end up making more money by farming at that farm literally because of this issue. Next up is a taxi driver. Now, if I'm being completely honest, taxi drivers just don't make that much money anymore, just because most of the time, people will just place an order and then cancel it right away because that's what they need to do for a battle pass task. But if you are able to get orders and actually end up picking somebody up, before you do that, make sure you click J and change the price per kilometer to a higher amount. Now, if you do this, you will make an absolute fortune. And the reason why is because they actually changed how much money you can make from this, if I'm not wrong. So let's get ready to make some money here. The best way to do this is every time you see that little thing pop up saying there's a new order, is to be hovering right over the view order list, so you can snag it as fast as you possibly can. So we're going to sit here, wait till we get a text, which we just did, and then accept the order. And you can see it's only 0.14 miles away. Now there's a good chance this person may just cancel the order. Looks like he's good to go. Let's see how much money we make from this trip. $100 right there. You know what? I just realized what they changed while I'm recording this. They didn't actually change how much money you're making. You're still making the exact same amount, but you're being paid in increments of 10% of what you charge per kilometer now, which is honestly a lot better, because before sometimes you'd only drive like 0.5 miles, be charging $1,000 per kilometer, and you'd end up getting paid nothing, because you get paid as soon as you reach 1 total kilometer. But now, since you get paid in 10% increments, you're guaranteed to make some cold hard cash. Now this was only a 2-mile trip, which isn't bad at all. We also got bonuses of $500 along the way. We arrive at the destination, he hops out of the car, we made $2,500 from the trip, plus an extra $1,000 in bonuses, making the grand total $3,500 for driving 2 miles. Pretty damn solid. If we were driving from the bottom to the top of the map, or from the top to the bottom, we probably would have made around 7. So if you do become a taxi driver, make sure you have the price set at $1,000, because someone might only have to go half a mile, and if you have it set at $1,000, they'll be charged $100 every 5 seconds or so, depending on how fast you're driving, of course. Either way, that's one insane change I'm glad they made, because I remember doing taxi stuff before, and it would get very annoying when I pick somebody up, drop them off, and I don't get paid a dime. Next, we're going to talk about fishing and mining. There's really only one thing you need to know when you're going fishing or when you're going to mine. Make sure you have a level 3 pickaxe or fishing rod on you at all times. You never ever want to do this job without having one of those. Now, you'll actually get one for free once you become a level 3 fisherman or a level 3 miner. The main issue with that is it takes a long ass time. I believe you need to catch like 2,500 fish in order to become level 3. But you can just go buy a level 3 fishing rod or pickaxe because they were in previous battle passes, and pretty much everybody has a couple of them at this point. Myself, I think I have 4 or 5. So when I do end up fishing, I just chill here, I hold E, and let's see what we get. Sometimes we'll get like 1 singular fish, and then the next time we do it, we'll end up getting like 5 of them. Right there, we got 1 carp. which is actually not bad. It's not the lowest level fish, it's not the highest level. And don't forget, if you have a higher level fishing rod, you're able to catch better fish. Like right there, we just got 6 perch. If I had a level 1 fishing rod, that would have taken me 6 attempts to get that. And I wouldn't even be able to catch any salmon or any trout, which end up selling for more money. It's the exact same situation with mining. You'd end up getting one singular piece of copper every single time you mine. But if you had that level 3 pickaxe or fishing rod, you could get 5 or 6 at a single time. And they're honestly not expensive to buy. Some people would probably sell them for like 50k, maybe even less than that. I remember trying to sell them to somebody when I was emptying out my storages and selling everything I had, and he didn't even want to buy them, because that's how worthless they are at this point. I remember before, they used to be worth like $500,000 or $600,000, because the only way to get them is if you were a level 3 fisherman or a level 3 miner. So that's definitely the best tip I can give you when it comes to that. If you're going fishing, you're going mining, make sure you got a level 3 pickaxe and a level 3 fishing rod on you. Now let's talk about being a bus driver. You go, you get employed, and then you rent yourself a bus. And there are 4 different routes you're able to pick from. There's one very short route that takes about 5 minutes to complete. And the longest route, which is route to the outskirts, takes right around 25 minutes. The shortest route, like I said, is the airport mayor's office route, which pays out $511. Now, if we just do some simple math here, 511 times 5, $2,555. So the time it will take for you to do this route one time, you could do this route 5 times, and you'll get paid a bit more money. You may want to pick this route because it says you'll get so much more, but you got to remember how long it takes to drive a bus all the way up to the very top of the map and all the way back, going along dirt roads and all this other crap. Trust me, this one is the one you're going to want to pick. But even when it comes to that, you're not even going to want to be a bus driver because the payouts are just horrible. Making $500 every 5 minutes is not a good amount of money at all. Probably one of the worst ways to make money in the game. I actually have made videos in the past going over exactly which beginner jobs are the best for you to make money and the worst. And being a bus driver is sadly one of the worst ways you can make money. So I wouldn't recommend doing it, but if you ever have a battle pass task or something that says complete routes as a bus driver, always do the airport mayor's office route. And even if you want to make money from being a bus driver, do the mayor's route office as well. Hopefully at some point they increase the amount of money you get paid from it, because every time you would go through a checkpoint, you would get paid cash. And then whenever the hour reset, you would also get a salary on top of that. And then they removed it for some reason. Not too sure why. It's like literally the one tip I can give for being a bus driver. The only other one, like I said, is just don't do it, because it's not that profitable. And the final one, it's pretty obvious, but it can make you a ton of money, and that's going to be working in a food truck. Now, if you manage to get your hands on one, all you're going to want to do is come to the hospital, park up right where all of these food trucks are, and then just sell food at the highest possible price you can. And by doing that, you can just enter sleep mode, go AFK, and go to bed. Wake up 10 hours later, and you'll have made tons and tons of money. The only issue with that is sometimes it's very hard to get a food truck, because I believe there's only like 7 that you're able to rent, maybe even less than that, and that's for the entire city. So if all 7 are rented, those are literally the only ones available, and if they never get out of those trucks, you're not going to get one until they do or the server restarts. It is a very good way to make money AFK. Like if you're planning on going to sleep or you're planning on going to school, just go and rent a food truck, park it in a prime location, and you are absolutely chilling. I see lots of people parking them in the most random spots, and it's just not going to make you any money. The best place by far is the hospital. The only other place that might be decent is certain areas at Beach Market. But even then, not too many people are looking for food there. Every time I need food, I don't go to Beach Market. I go to the hospital and buy it from a food truck. But you never know. Some people might actually buy it at Beach Market. But if you do manage to get your hands on it, you're blessed. The best way to do it is fly into the city right after the server restarts, rent a food truck, place it, and then go do something else. But either way, those are just a few tips I have for some of the beginner jobs in Grand RP. If you want to see some other tips revolving around other things to do in the city or some of the other beginner jobs, let me know down below. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. And with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one.